Hello, dear sweet friends. How are you doing? Let me just get there we go. There we go. Okay, we're gonna get my Instagram community on here to join us as well. And I'm pulling an angel card. In fact, I already pulled it just so you're not watching me sitting here shuffle. So let me just get our friends on here and then we'll get rocking and rolling. And just know, actually, I'll say this for when they're on, so I'm not repeating it for you. Hello, how are you doing, Instagram? How are you doing, YouTube? My name is Corinne Clapham, your intuitive wellness guide, yoga instructor, meditation facilitator, sound healer. I can go on with a whole bunch of other different things that I do. But why I am here in this moment is to share a beautiful angel card message that is for you. And trust that whenever you've been guided here to this video, this is the absolute perfect timing for you to receive these messages that will support you. Now, I already went ahead and shuffled it. That way you don't have to hear me shuffling around. And I love this card. This is the Angel of Trust. Okay, the Angel of Trust. I trust in the divine power of goodness and love to protect and guide me. I'm going to repeat that. I trust in the divine power of goodness and love to protect and guide me. Now, I just finished doing a couple of zodiac love readings, tarot love readings, tarot and oracle and intuitive readings. And I got to tell you, I've done 3 so far for this week, and at least 2 of them, if not 3, trust came up. So this is a very prevalent message. So I'm going to read to you the meaning of this, going more in depth by it. And this is the Angel Oracle by Ambika Wauters, and I love this. Okay, so really great information. This is like story time for you. Only you are receiving divine guidance and message through this. So the Angel of Trust is represented holding the stool, which is used as a blindfold. When we are blindfolded, we have to trust in ourselves and in God. Now, if I'm using words that don't resonate with you, just replace it with what does, okay? Don't let yourself miss out on important messages just because the ego gets tripped up on words. Maybe for you it's grace, maybe it's love, maybe it's, whatever it is that you believe in, or higher source, whatever it is, just replace it with that, okay? When we are blindfolded, we have to trust in ourselves and in God, knowing that we are protected by this guardian angel whose hands reach out to us across the gulf of time and worldly matters to offer goodness freely. And I know it's a difficult time. We've been going through this whole COVID thing for over a year, but it's not just that. It's also a lot of stuff has been coming to light that the veil is coming off. It's like when someone has an art piece and they pull the blanket. That's what's going on with everything and the systems and the corruption, everything. I don't want to get too much into it because it's not why I came in here. However, just remember, as crazy as things are getting worldly, know that you're always supported by angels and archangels, and you can always call upon them to protect you. Okay. So the angelic realm, this is the angel of the heaven of creation, and the angelic function of the specific one is to open our hearts and our minds to trusting in the goodness of life. And actually on one of the zodiac readings, somehow it came up where I was talking about, because an oracle card, I'm going to read this in a moment, but there's something that's coming up and I'm always intuitively channeling. So here we go. There was an oracle card that came up about religious factors that were standing in the way. I think it was for Aries. And I was saying to them how when I see that card, it's not always a religious factors, it's that like our morals or our values or our perspectives sometimes might clash with someone. And especially now, the past couple of years, because things have been so polarized, it's very easy to happen. And we have these big segregations that keep happening. For example, we have it with gender, we have it with certain races. We've had segregation. We have segregation that's been happening, people wearing masks versus people who don't, people who want to get the V versus people who don't. Like that's the most prominent topic right now where there's huge segregation. And yes, there are people who want to get the V and get it, and that's their own decision for themselves. And then there's people who do get it and have major judgment on people who choose not to. And so, and vice versa. So what I was saying is sometimes in life we are striving for everybody to have the same opinion. Sometimes, and we can see how we do that maybe in our circle of friends, our family, in romantic relationships and with strangers. Sometimes we feel like peace is going to be there when we can all get on the same page and agree on the same thing. But, there was a realization that I had probably a year or two ago, I'm saying 2 years, where maybe our objective is not to have everybody, maybe we don't need to strive and push for it, all of us to be on the same page. Rather, maybe it's meant for us to get to a place where we're able to have acceptance and compassion for people, regardless of what their stance are or regardless of what our stance are. Now, I know, of course, there's going to be certain ones that we'll probably never agree with, right? Especially if there's violence or hatred or something involved. But what I mean is if we have, that aside, that's more extreme that I'm talking about. But maybe it's coming to a place of like, if people want to wear a mask or get a V, they do it for themselves, but they don't have any judgment on someone else, right? We see people who do this or that might be different from us, but we accept it. That's what they do for themselves. That's what makes them feel good. That's what makes them feel safe. And really our intention is whether someone thinks the same way we do or does the same things we do or don't, we can still look at them with love, right? We still have that intention. Well, you know what? That's for them. And I just hope they're safe, and maybe that's really what our learning experience is here in this human experience on earth, right? So anyways, that just popped in my head as I was reading that. Gifts for the earth, it can help us to learn to trust ourselves, learn to trust in life itself and all it has to offer us, learn to trust other people. Trust is a huge one. Like I said, I was talking about this in the love readings I was doing. And, a lot of times when people get out of relationships, trust sometimes could have been broken. And then it's hard to rebuild that again, right? And so this is why I can see this. And trust is like on so many levels, not just in relationships. That's just what we're talking about in the zodiac readings. But how do we trust like our systems and our governments and things like that when there's constantly, it's not always accurate. And sometimes there's lies and like, do people really care about us? Do they really have our best interest, right? So trust can come in so many different layers, like friends, relationships, structures, systems, you know what I mean? But when we can fix and correct that within ourselves, then there's discernment moving forward. Then we start attracting people that we can trust, right? And when we can start trusting ourselves, we stop doubting ourselves, we stop doubting other people. So let me read this. It's only one page for all of you who are like, oh my gosh, how long is this going to take? It won't take very long, but let's get into it, shall we? The angel of trust works with our higher self to help us express and develop a trusting attitude towards life. This trust can manifest itself when we are caught on the fence, torn between being negative, cynical, or destructive, and wishing to be positive and believe that our highest good and greatest joy are being fulfilled. Sorry, there might be some background noise out there. We'll just send it low. Let me just read that last part again. So wishing to be positive and believe that our highest good and greatest joy are being fulfilled. This angel offers us the essential love of spirit we need in order to trust and be truly life-affirming. Trust can make all the difference in the qualitative and all the qualitative experiences of our life. To be able to trust is an essential ingredient of happiness and ease. Otherwise, our energy will be tied up with suspicion, doubt, and fear. Okay? And when we are operating from a place of fear and operating from a place of doubt and fear with unhealthy belief systems like other people are out to get us or they don't have our best interests or we can't trust them, what happens is any other situations, we will look at them with a skewed perception. We will look at it with that doubt. It's almost like, because the subconscious believes that, it will find things to extract from a situation and to make it about that, when really the reality is just like A, B, and C. But now we just jumbled it all up with other things, right? So if we can take care of this element, we will see things in a completely different light, and not only that, attract different situations in our life. Okay, so where did I leave off here? I know I said that qualitative word. Where is that? There we go. So I'm going to reread the sentence. To be able to trust is an essential ingredient of happiness and ease. Otherwise, our energy will be tied up with suspicion, doubt, and fear. Trust gives us the courage to move forward or take risks that we would not have been able to take if we lacked this one component, vital to growth and spirituality. Vital to growth and spirituality. So the angel of trust helps each one of us to value our experiences and trust our perceptions. Only through listening to our inner wisdom can we develop the quality of trust which we so vitally need in order to progress through life. When we learn to trust in the goodness of life, we have a more joyful time and more worthwhile contacts with others. Odd though it may sound, trust reflects itself in all our choices, from the relationships that we form to the jobs and careers that we pick, right through to the type of clothes that we wear. When we are lacking in trust, we will always be carrying an umbrella and choosing the safest, least challenging way of doing something, fearful of hurt, or of doing it wrong. How many of us have that, right? And then we shy away, and then we don't do things, or we don't put ourselves out there when we're operating from that. So it is only when we dare to take risks, to stand up for what we feel, and to trust in our inner sense of right and wrong, that we eventually develop a sense of mastery about life. We can offer prayers to this angel to help us trust our inner sense of knowing. We can ask for trust in one another so that we can feel safe expressing our love and care for one another. We can ask for trust in one another so that we feel safe expressing our love and care for one another. This angel wants our life experiences to be healthy and to be nourishing. Nothing is more undermining to our spirits than cunning or betrayal. So really, when we invite trust in, we can shift and change so much in our life. And there you have it. Lovely ladies and gentlemen, the angel of trust is always here. And if you're having difficulties with it, you can always call it in. Call her in. And if you're on my YouTube, you can like and subscribe. That way you will get notifications whenever I'm doing the live free love tarot readings, whenever I'm doing other readings and other videos on spirituality and things to help with our mental health. And I will see you on the next video. Much love. And I will see